According to Redfin, pending home sales rose after a post-election surge in home tours. In fact, pending home sales rose 12.1% year over year in November 2024, the biggest increase since May 2021. Now, is this all just smoke and mirrors, or is this a sign of things to come down the road? Stay tuned to this video, and we're going to break down some key statistics and also some predictions from Redfin for 2025. So you're going to want to stick around for those as well. Well, were you one of those that chose not to do anything buying or selling till after the election was over? I know I had many of my own clients do this in the last few months, but technically, it did not make much of a difference to the interest rates as they actually went higher during and the following days after the election. Home buyers went out the next few days after the election and toured homes. Even my listings had a jump in showings right afterwards. So let's get into the numbers and then on to those predictions for 2025. Now, mortgage rates at the time of this video, of course, were sitting around 6.92%, down from the peak of 7.13% on November 6, 2024. The reasons for the rate uptick towards the election? The bond market, those investors were convinced that Donald Trump would win, and thus that's why they continued the upward tick immediately following the election. There's also probably going to be some volatility while these investors try to figure out just what new administration policies will be implemented and what the economic conditions are actually going to be. Along with the CPI inflation report that recently came out a few weeks ago, as most expected, will more than likely increase the odds of a December rate cut from the Fed, but we will see with the jobs report that's due out on December 6th. Mortgage rates will likely stay near that 7% for now, due to all the inflationary and deficit concerns. If the cut happens, I'm guessing, and most speculate, it will be a 25 basis point drop. Now, according to Redfin, on the seller's side, new listings are up 10.6% year over year. That's the biggest since April. That is due more to the fact Thanksgiving fell in the last year's comparable. So we'll see in the next few weeks how those numbers shake out, but we also have Christmas right around the corner too. And for the period ending November 24th, 2024, the median home sales price was at $386,625. That's a 7% year-over-year change and the biggest increase since September 2022. Now, the number of new listings was at 74,118, a 10.6% year-over-year change and the biggest increase since April 2023. And according to NAR, or the National Association of Realtors, October was the third consecutive month for gains in home sales, even with the higher interest rate. Contract signings are a gauge for future home sales, and that rose 5.4% in October compared to a year ago. Home buying momentum is building after nearly 2 years of suppressed home sales, says NAR's chief economist, Lawrence Yun. He goes on to say, even with mortgage rates modestly rising despite the Federal Reserve's decision to cut the short-term interbank lending rate in September, continuous job additions and more housing inventory are bringing more consumers to the market. Now, with more homes on the market, that means more choices. How are the first-time homebuyers faring out there? Well, according to an article back in October from Redfin, 23% of those buyers who were likely to purchase their first home in the next year said they were waiting until after this election. Of those first-time home buyers, the majority stated personal financing and timing are the most common reason delaying a home purchase, with other reasons being future interest rate cuts, immigration policies, and affordable housing initiatives. Now, the first-time homebuyer market has actually shrunk to a historic low of 24%, and the home buyer's age hit record highs. That low of 24% is actually down from 32% last year, according to the National Association of Realtors. And to continue on this, the home buyer's ages hit an all-time high of 56 years old compared to 49 last year, and 38-year-olds were the first-time home buyers, and that was up from 35 years of age last year. And as a home seller, there are basically two groups of buyers. You have the first-time home buyers struggling to enter the market, and then the current homeowners with all kinds of cash. Now, those first-time home buyers are faced with the high home prices and the high mortgage rates and limited inventory to top it all off. And with the cost of home buying skyrocketing, the average monthly payment, including taxes and insurance, is now around $2,500 a month, doubling what it was before the pandemic and tripling the lows during the housing crash. And many millennials and Gen Zers simply can't afford it and don't see the value stretching their budgets for a home. And here's a stat that may shock you, that right now it costs $700 more per month to buy a home than to rent one. Now, current homeowners, they can easily make a housing trade using their built-up equity for a cash purchase or a very large down payment. They also think they can demand a lower price for your home and such, as they have that luxury, and most are patient enough. If it doesn't work out, they're just going to move on and try to find something else. Home sellers, even though you're seeing some demand pick up after this election, here's something you're going to want to keep in mind. Mortgage applications, they're still down 43%. I know there's been a small year-over-year increase, but overall, the buyer activity is nowhere near the pre-pandemic levels, which suggests something that you need to keep in mind. And if you are a home seller that is thinking of selling and wondering, when is it a good time to sell? Well, first off, you need a good agent to help you determine everything. And if you need one, by the way, you can click down below. I have some good connections out in your area. I'd be happy to help you out. And again, if you are needing to sell, then it's a good time to sell right now. Also, if you need to sell, do not try to just time the market right now. The best time to sell is when you are in a situation and that you need to sell. And if you have more time, then I always like early spring to actually get your home on the market. But overall, at the end of the day, everyone's situation is different. So make sure you work with someone that understands your situation and is aware of your timetable and not so much just worried about theirs. Now, on to more interesting stuff for you to consider. Those 2025 predictions, according to Redfin, that I'm sure you've been waiting for. And please give me your comments down below on any of these, as I always appreciate people's opinions on these types of things. Now, prediction number one from Redfin is home prices will rise 4% in 2025. Yes, they expect prices to be what they are in the second half of 2024 because they don't expect there to be enough inventory to meet the demands. And again, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, so give me some comments down below. Prediction number two, mortgage rates will remain near 7%. They feel rates will fluctuate throughout the year, but the average will be around 6.8%, and the investors feel the President-elect Donald Trump implements a significant portion of those proposed tax cuts and tariffs, and it will keep the economy strong, which in turn, the Fed may only cut rates twice in 2025, keeping mortgage rates high, and those high rates will then keep the housing unaffordable. And on to prediction number three, there will be more home sales in 2025 than 2024. Yes, the prediction is a year-over-year increase, and listen to this, they're predicting between 2 and 9%. And I'd like your thoughts on this. This seems like such a wide range to me. Prediction 4, 2025 will be a renter's market. While home prices increase, rents are expected to remain flat year over year in 2025. In fact, more rentals are expected to be coming on the market, and there should be more supply than there is demand, leveling out the cost of renting a home. Prediction 5, wealthy people will pay less to buy and sell as commissions decline slightly. With all those National Association of Realtors changes in the last year, luxury homes have the most room to reduce the fees. And with all the Department of Justice stifling competition, it will be interesting to see what changes are even still ahead going into 2025. Prediction 6, climate risk will be priced into individual homes, especially coastal Florida areas. This one has been in many discussions throughout the year already, and with the prices of homeowners insurance and along with all those natural disasters that took place, like on Florida's coast, Texas and California, that have all been hit with natural disasters, we definitely are going to see some impact from this going into 2025. Well, I believe this points to an interesting 2025 coming up, and along with all these new administration proposing lower rates, cheaper homes, and more new construction, I guess time is only going to tell. And if you're thinking of selling your home, it's very important to stay up to date on things that are happening, but there is also so much out there that it can also keep you from making a decision and delaying selling. And again, just do not try to time the housing market, as it's always going to be a bad time to sell if you try to do that. Hopefully you found this information beneficial, and if so, please share it with anyone you feel will benefit from this. And if you need a good agent connection, my contact link is down below. I have many good agents around in your area to help you try to navigate these crazy housing market times. Thanks again for watching this video, and as always, we'll see you next time.